bad man named Justy was banished from his community for always begging. Everyone knew him. They whispered about him, laughed at him, and avoided him. For years, he wandered the dusty streets, tattered clothes clinging to his thin frame, feet bare, carrying nothing but a small bag and a head full of dreams nobody understood. Children ran past him, elders shook their heads, neighbors crossed the road to avoid him. He muttered to himself, laughed when there was no reason to laugh, sometimes cried alone at night under the moonlight. Yet, deep inside, a spark of hope refused to die. Justy dreamed of a life where he could rise above the scorn, the mockery, and the endless rejection. Every night under the stars, he whispered to himself, "One day, I will come back, and I will change everything." Then one day, almost impossibly, fate smiled upon him. Justy won a huge lottery. The boy who had nothing, who had been chased out of his home, suddenly became rich beyond imagination. But he didn't run away to the city or hide in luxury. He remembered his community, the same streets, the same people, the same alleys where he had been mocked, and he made a decision. He would return, not to show off, but to bless them. When Justy arrived, the villagers hardly recognized him. The tattered clothes were gone, replaced with neat attire. His hair was groomed, and his posture radiated confidence. Whispers spread quickly. "Is that Justy?" People peeked from windows. Children stopped playing. Elders gathered in confusion. Some ran to see if it was really him, the boy they once chased away. He walked slowly through the dusty streets, smiling at those who had once mocked him. He paused for a moment, breathing in the familiar scent of the village, the mix of wood smoke, freshly tilled soil, and the faint aroma of cooking fires. His heart swelled with emotion. "This is home," he thought. "Even if they once hated me, I still care for them." His first stop was a small house where a mother and her children lived. The roof had holes, the walls were crumbling, and hunger was a constant visitor. Justy knocked softly. The mother opened the door, her eyes wide in disbelief. I don't understand," she stammered. "I'm here to help," Justy replied gently, handing her keys to a brand new home he had built for her. No one should live like this. Tears streamed down her face. Children hugged him, laughing and crying at the same time. Word spread quickly, and soon the streets were buzzing with curiosity and awe. But Justy's generosity didn't stop at houses. He drove around the streets of his old community, his car gleaming under the sun. He waved at people, handed out money, offered words of encouragement, and made children laugh. Mothers stood by the roads, clutching their little ones, tears in their eyes. Elders shook his hand and blessed him. Every person he met seemed lighter, happier, their worries eased by his presence. He funded clean water projects so every household could access safe drinking water. He reopened abandoned shops and gave them to young entrepreneurs, creating jobs for the unemployed. He bought farming tools for struggling families, helped repair school buildings, and provided textbooks for children who could barely afford pencils. Evenings were spent gathering the children under the big tree in the village square. He shared stories of courage, resilience, and dreaming against all odds. Even when people say you are nothing, he told them, "Remember this, your life can change in a single moment. Believe in yourself and never give up." One young boy approached him with a tattered notebook. "Sir, I want to be like you. I want to help my people too." Justy knelt down and smiled. "You already can," he said. "Kindness is stronger than money. You can change lives with your heart, even before you have wealth." As days turned to weeks, the village transformed. Children laughed freely, mothers cooked without worry, young adults found work, and elders smiled with pride. Justy's acts of generosity spread beyond the village. News outlets shared his story, and other communities began inviting him to teach them how to uplift the hopeless. Sometimes, he would sit quietly on the veranda of his home at night, looking at the streets he had once wandered barefoot. He remembered the humiliation, the hunger, and the rejection. He reflected on the strange twist of fate that had given him wealth. But more than that, he remembered the smiles, the laughter, and the gratitude he saw in the eyes of his people. Every smile, every tear of relief, reminded him that the most powerful form of success was the ability to lift others. One afternoon, he visited the village market, giving out coins and small gifts to people who had lost hope. A woman clutched a handful of money and whispered, "I never thought I'd see this day." Justy smiled. "Hope is always closer than you think," he said softly. Even the elders, who had once scorned him, now came to him for guidance. He helped repair the community center, built a small clinic, and even provided scholarships for children to attend school. Where despair had ruled, hope now blossomed. And so, the boy who was once called a madman returned not for revenge, not for recognition, but to change lives, give hope, and bring joy. His story became a legend, a tale told from parents to children, inspiring generations to believe that even the most forgotten, rejected people can rise, achieve greatness, and bless those who once doubted them. Justy proved that true wealth is not measured by money, but by the lives you touch, the hope you plant, and the smiles you leave behind. After driving through the streets, giving money and gifts to those in need, Justy decided to visit the village market. The market was alive with the sounds of traders shouting prices, the clatter of baskets, and children running between the stalls. The smell of grilled fish mixed with fresh vegetables, and the heat of the afternoon sun made the air shimmer. Justy walked slowly, taking it all in. He paused to watch a little boy struggling to carry a basket of tomatoes. "Here, let me help you," Justy said, lifting the basket with ease. The boy's eyes widened, and he dropped his mouth full of words in surprise. Thank you so much," he stammered. Justy smiled, handing him a few coins and saying, "Keep studying, one day you'll do greater things." As he moved through the market, mothers approached him with their children, their hands open for help. He handed out food, small bundles of clothing, and coins. Tears streamed down many faces, but smiles broke across all of them. Smiles that spoke of hope, a belief that life could be better. Justy felt a warmth in his chest he had never known. This is why I was spared, he thought. Not for wealth, but to give life back to those who had none. Next, he visited several families whose homes had been falling apart. With his resources, he repaired roofs, replaced broken doors, and painted the walls. Each home he touched seemed to come alive. Laughter echoed in spaces that had been silent for years. He even built a small community clinic, hiring nurses and doctors, so that people no longer had to travel miles for basic medical care. One elder, who had once scorned him, clasped Justy's hands and said, "My son, you have changed everything. We were blind, but you have opened our eyes." Evenings were the most special. Justy gathered the children under the big tree in the village square. He shared stories, tales of courage, resilience, and dreams coming true against all odds. Even when people say you are nothing, he told them, "Remember this, your life can change in a single moment. Believe in yourself and never give up." He also mentored young adults, teaching them skills like trading, farming, and basic entrepreneurship. Small shops were reopened, workshops established, and jobs created. Slowly, the village transformed from a place of despair into a hub of hope and activity. The streets, once silent and dusty, now buzzed with life. Children playing, mothers cooking, traders selling, and laughter filling every corner. One day, a young girl ran to him with her school books. "Sir, I can finally go to school this year," she said, tears glistening in her eyes. Justy knelt and smiled. Education is power. Learn well, and use your knowledge to help others. Even at night, Justy would walk through the village, observing the changes. He remembered the years he'd spent wandering, rejected and alone. Now he saw children playing safely, elders resting comfortably, and families thriving. Each smile, each moment of gratitude, reminded him why he had returned. He also began planting small gardens and fruit trees throughout the village, ensuring that even those without land could have food. He established a small library, stocked with books for children and adults alike, encouraging learning and growth. Months turned into a year, and the village was almost unrecognizable. The community that had once rejected him now celebrated him.